Hey everyone, and welcome to our next video chat. We've been hearing from AGW certified farmers and ranchers and folks in the food system who've been sharing their wisdom about managing their business and livestock and just living life during this time. Today we are catching up with Jay Wells from Georgia Native Cattle Company in Buena Vista, Georgia, where the Wells family manages a herd of certified animal welfare approved by A Greener World and grass-fed by A Greener World Pineywood Cattle, and are preparing to launch a new product that Jay can tell you all about. So Jay, thank you so much for being here today. I'm just really glad to catch up with you and hear what's going on in your part of Georgia.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit more just about the breed. So what's special about the Pineywood cattle, and why is it well suited for your farm and just for your business?
A lot of people don't realize it, but your continental breeds didn't come in until the early 1900s, meaning your Angus, your Hereford, and breeds such as that. Before that, you had what are now called the Pineywood cattle. In Florida, they call them the Florida Cracker. They're cousins of the Texas Longhorn. And they were owned by the missionaries. They were owned by the conquistadors, brought some in. And from those early beginnings, you developed herds that were managed oftentimes out on a free range situation where the herds were out in the woods. And in that process, they became what we call a landrace breed. So that means they developed as per the environment. So they're environmentally suited to the area that we live. They're heat resistant, they're disease resistant, they are designed for our environment, and they're adapted to our environment.
And I've heard you say before that much of the way that you farm and raise cattle is about restoring soil and creating an environment that allows biodiversity to thrive. So what role did the cattle play in that larger system on your farm?
Our cattle like to brush. In other words, if you put them out in an area, they're going to eat vegetation that other animals are not going to eat. And so for us, it's not unusual for on our ride-arounds with the cows to see the deer out with the cows, to see turkey, listen to the quail, see a gopher tortoise, look at the burros, and just see everybody that's coexisting. It's like I joke, with other critters that live on the farm with us.
That's right. That's right. Do you have a sense of the long-term impacts of COVID-19 on farming and ranching?
I think you're going to see in the future that people are going to understand that we're all interdependent, and we're all, coexisting, and that, just completely, falls back into everything I was just saying, is that it just leads to how important it is for those of us who do heritage breeds to preserve those genetics, and that there is a future for these animals. But right now we're trying to get through periods of time where they weren't commercially viable because they didn't fit completely in the box.
Right.
And now I think the box is going to open up more to where our heritage breeds are going to have a more important role in the future.
Absolutely. Yeah, so speaking of the future, so y'all have some pretty exciting news on the horizon with the launch of your new product, the Georgia Native Cattle Company beef sticks. So can you tell us about them and how people can purchase them?
Well, we have a website, georgianativecattle.com. We're taking pre-orders. Right now we have our first load of beef. AJ and Brian, those two boys, took it up to the processor, and hopefully in a couple of weeks, we're going to get the first boxes back. And so we're excited about it. We think that it's also going to allow people who've always thought that, hey, I would like to try this and try Pineywood's cattle, try some of these brands and breeds they've never been able to taste before, a shelf-stable way to expand their horizons, and at the same time participate in our preservation efforts.
That's right.
Because the thing people have to understand is, yes, our cattle are cute, and yes, they're pretty and they look good out there, but if they're not commercially viable, then it makes it difficult to preserve these heritage breeds. So this is part of our effort to make these rare breeds commercially viable, and everybody that buys our beef sticks in their own way is going to be participating in the preservation effort.
So from your experience farming, do you have any final tips or any just thoughts or advice for producers who are facing challenges right now?
Part of success is failure. And I think we have learned that. I think one of the most important things that I ever heard when we decided to do what we were doing is from our advisor, Phil Swanenberg from Virginia Tech, and he said that genetic preservation can be messy. And so don't be afraid to make mistakes, because sometimes that's just going to happen. Mistakes are part of going forward and part of success in the future.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, we really appreciate the experience and the advice that you shared today, Jay. I think we'll wrap things up here for this particular conversation, and so appreciate your time, and best of luck for everything that's coming down the road for y'all. I'm so excited and thrilled to see how it all unfolds. And to our listeners, everybody stay safe and stay tuned for the next video in our series.
Okay. Thank you.